Welcome back to the Fireside Chat. A little bit of a break than usual. Hope you all been well. Great week this week for a lot of people. A lot of people said that Wednesday was the happiest day of their life. As you know, Wednesday, Joe Biden officially became our president. Donald Trump was officially evicted. And so, yeah, let's hop right into it. Shade, how have you been, buddy?
I've been doing well. Of course, got the album underway, got school going on, doing work, all the usual stuff. How about yourself?
I've been great myself. Excited for another weekend. Hockey season started back, so that's been a lot of fun catching up on the games. Can't wait until we can finally, go back and see the games in person. That'll be a lot of fun. But You've been keeping up on your water.
I was actually just looking for my bottle of water right now. I've been trying to. Stretching is the big one. I have not been doing that. And you know what? Let me tell you guys, I have been sore. Like, I don't know what it is, if I'm just getting older, if it's that, the weather is just doing me in, or maybe I'm just, too bedridden from working at home as much as I do now. It's something, but I am sore, and I need to do these stretches, man. No kidding.
Yeah, we definitely have to get back into, it's funny. I feel like people are aging faster these days because they're not getting as much physical exercise as kids did and adults did.
So you're saying they atrophy in a way?
Yeah, I feel like I said, I feel like we need to be drinking more water like our parents did growing up. We need to be, working out and being, as physical as we were when we were growing up. You had PE every other day, right? For 90 minutes. You just had, a lot of us played on sports teams. You practice multiple times a week. I feel like we, need to do a better job of stretching more, working out more, drinking our water, the things we did growing up.
Yeah.
Being a kid was it was about, as a teacher, I'm learning a lot of being a kid was learning how to be an adult. Like when you go home right after school and do your homework, that was teaching you to put first things first. And I feel like, a lot of people have gotten away from that mindset of, first things first. But
good point.
That being said, I'm not going to lecture you. We're glad to be back. Let's hop right into it. So the Senate has agreed on a trial date for Donald Trump. His impeachment trial. It is going to be February 9th, 2 weeks from now. Shay, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, me personally, it's I understand both sides of the argument, and you'll hear that from me all the time. But really, I understand why people are upset. I understand what they're really trying to accomplish as well, which is to prevent Donald Trump from being able to run again. That's a big goal in a full impeachment and, of course, getting him a sentence. But at the same time, it's I'm personally ready to move on. I'm done with Donald Trump. I don't want to really hear about him anymore. That's where I'm kind of at. And I think there are a lot of people out there that are kind of feeling the same way. They would like to move on. They would like to move past things and just start working on some of the more important things, like COVID relief, like getting the economy on track, unemployment, really some truly more important things right now than Donald Trump's existence.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Personally, I think he should be able to run again if that's what he wants to do. I don't think he will, personally, but
I doubt it.
I think, the democratic process, I don't believe in, the age, the minimum age requirements. I don't believe in.
Really?
No, I think, if you run into someone who is, AOC is, what, 27 right now? or something. If she decides that she wants to primary Chuck Schumer, she has to be 30 years old. I say there's no reason she shouldn't be able to if that's what she wants to do.
Okay.
And if people want to vote for said person, like if they want to vote for, a young person and put them in office, someone, 21, 22, 23 years old, I say, why not? I say, democracy is democracy. I say let folks run. I don't really believe in term limits. Like I don't even believe in term limits for the president. If we like that president and they want to keep going, shoot, let them keep going. But I guess that's just me. So I would say that much about having him not run. No, I think one, if he runs, it helps the Democrats. Like Donald Trump will never be president again. He might be the Republican nominee. He'll never be the president of the United States again. And if Georgia didn't show you that, like the fact that he could lose in Georgia twice it's a bad sign. And you saw states like Maine that went for Biden, but then went for Susan Collins. If the Republican Party can't find a way to separate itself from Trump, it'll be in big trouble too. And so that's just me. But no, I don't think that goal is even realistic. I don't think you're going to get 17 Republicans to vote to convict Trump and then bar him from running for office. And so I don't even think the goal is realistic. I think, like you said, it's a waste of time. We've talked about COVID relief around here, right? We've spent time, like right now, Biden has appointments that have to go through the Senate, right? They have to confirm all of his people, yada, yada. There's COVID relief. We talked about that environmental ticker, right? We've talked about on here the federal judges and the Supreme Court justices. And Joe Biden in the Senate, he has the opportunity to appoint people to fill vacancies. There's still a lot of vacancies to be filled, and they could focus on that. You only have a 51 to 50 majority. So, you have a tie. You'd have to do some research, though. In my lifetime, Democrats have only had uniform control of government for a total of 30 months. Just 30 months. They will more likely than not get another 24 months now, but there is no guarantee. The last two Democratic presidents, Bill Clinton and Obama, came in with Democratic majorities in the House and the Senate, and then found a way to lose. Bill Clinton lost both, I guess, in 2 years, and Obama lost the House in 2 and the Senate after 6. And I guess my point is right now you have the time to do things that are meaningful. If you're the Democrats and you want to get spiteful, make DC a state, make Puerto Rico a state, pick up 4 extra Senate seats. If you want to get spiteful, do some stuff with the voting laws, make it easier to vote, make it a federal holiday on election day, move election day to a Saturday so that everybody can vote. Make it mandatory that every employer give an employee, time to vote on election day if that's what you want to do. Make it so that all of any, felons, once they serve their time and done their service, once they've spent their time in prison, make it so that they can vote. If that's what you want to do. There's so many better options than quote unquote the party of the future spending its time focused on the past, and focusing its time on things that don't matter. Because at the end of the day, I don't think Trump, even if Trump does run, it's good for Democrats. One, I think that the point of this, more so than anything, is for them to put Republicans through a tough vote. Like, I think it'll be like a thing of like, oh, everybody in America saw it. Are you going to vote to convict him? But even then, there's constitutional questions. Like we all agreed in 2017 when Gates or whatever, Congressman Gates from Florida, wanted to impeach Obama after he was already out of office.
Yeah.
We all agreed that's not really possible, even for the things he did in office. I mean, if you can, how far back can you go?
Yeah.
How many impeachable offenses have occurred that people haven't been punished for? Do we finally go back and impeach Ronald Reagan for Iran-Contras, right? He literally broke the law. Should we go back and impeach him? Should we go back and impeach George W. for lying to the American people about Iraq? Should we go back and impeach Obama for the Steele dossier? It's like how like where do you go? Where does it stop?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think it would be very wise if it's going to be a Supreme Court. It's going to have to go to the Supreme Court. And I don't know how they'll rule, but they'll probably rule more likely than not that the technique, like when you impeach someone and convict them, the conviction is removing them from office. You can't remove someone from office who's no longer in office. And I feel like we knew this. Like, if you look at the precedent that was set with Nixon, right? Obviously, I think it was Ford pardoned him of his like federal crime, so he couldn't like go to jail. But Congress dropped the impeachment proceedings, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the president can't pardon you from what Congress is doing. And or at least to my knowledge, that's the case. And so, like I said, I feel like we've done this before, and Trump already donates his check. So a lot of people are like, oh, we're going to pay him, blah, blah. I'm like, one, that's like half a penny to you, and that's pennies to him. And since he's giving it away, I don't really think that matters.
Yeah.
Secret Service won't be living with him anymore. They'll be living around him.
Yeah.
Like, Secret Service doesn't literally live in Obama's house. They don't live in George W. Bush's house. They take turns, and so someone's on doing a shift, and then somebody else, like, trades off. And so I don't think, like, we're not going to be paying, $600 a night for Secret Service to stay at Mar-a-Lago and paying it to Trump. Like, that's not going to be a thing anymore. And so, like I said, I just feel like, and we talk about all these things that are so like that we don't have a lot of time on. Like, when we talked about the environment and that clock, or we talk about Americans living paycheck to paycheck when it comes to COVID relief. I don't know. If it were me and I were the speaker, I wouldn't deliver, because the Speaker of the House delivers the House delivers the impeachment to the Senate, and then the Senate starts the trial. I would impeach him, and then I would say, we're not going to deliver it. You guys focus on getting Biden's appointees in so they can undo the damage that Trump and his people have done. As a matter of fact, you know that Trump hammered a lot of the transitioning. So right now, Biden and his people, instead of being transitioned and ready to go day one, they're not. And you can look this up. There's tons of articles all across the news. I was reading one on Politico where it was talking about how the military isn't ready. Biden needs to get his Secretary of Defense in right away. And like I said, he needs to get his people in right away so that they can do what they're going to do. And so Sleepy Joe Biden. So I don't know. I feel like if you want to unite the country, instead of the biggest thing being on the news, the Senate trial of Donald Trump, and everybody focusing on the past, perhaps we should focus on what we can accomplish together going forward on behalf of the American people. And so that's just me. I know a lot of people disagree, but if you do disagree, I would ask you this, and I've asked everybody this that does disagree. Where are you at financially in your life? And everybody who disagrees, guess what? They don't need a COVID stimulus. They don't need any of the things that we're talking about. They don't have student loans that, the Democrats, like Chuck Schumer said, that was his number one goal, was to erase student loans. They don't have student loans that they're worried about. All of those things, they're doing well in life. They'd rather spend time sticking to Donald Trump than helping the people they probably do care about, just not as much as they do sticking it to Donald Trump. But in other news, impeachment news, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, the Breonna Taylor grand jurors have filed a petition to impeach him. They claim that, hold on, let's look. They say that he misled the public about the case and misrepresent the grand jury's actions. They argue he misused public funds to join a multi-state lawsuit against Pennsylvania's election results and support unlawful actions as a member of the National Association of Attorney Generals Executive Committee, which funded robocalls urging people to march to the U.S. Capitol on January 8th.
Wait, what? For real?
Yeah.
That's what he's being convicted of doing?
That's what they're impeaching him for. That's what they'd like to
Wait, so he
impeach him
definitely
for.
did that?
Yeah, I think he definitely did most of these things.
Ooh, that's really bad.
Yeah. The real question is, can he, this is the third impeachment petition filed against Kentucky officials this month.
Really?
Yep. And so I wonder what the impeachment process is there. But I will tell you all in Kentucky, and we'll do some research and we'll get back to you on it because we just got this in during the break, but and had to throw it in real quick and study up on it. But this is something to look at. This is definitely something to look at as well, I think. And I wonder what Mitch McConnell, he just won re-election. Obviously, you know, he wasn't happy with Trump. He's disaligned himself with Trump. I wonder what he thinks about all of this. Because remember, he wasn't one of the people saying fraud the entire time. So him and obviously the Attorney General are both Republicans, but in two very, very different boats. And so it'll be interesting to see how, with the Republican Party in kind of an open civil war, including Trump supporters are actually in their own civil war. There's a lot of Trump supporters claiming that the ones that stormed the Capitol cost everybody their civil liberties, and they cost Trump a chance at re-election in 2024. And so they're very frustrated by that. I was reading that on Politico. My point is the Republican Party, as far as how much they like each other goes, the only thing that they can unite around right now is how much they don't like the Democrats.
Yeah.
And I think that an impeachment trial of Donald Trump after he's already out of office, I think, you know, I was looking it up, only 46% of independents support him being impeached. Like 85% of Democrats and like 10%, like 15% of Republicans. Like
It doesn't sound like they have the numbers.
Well, they don't have the numbers in Congress, but even amongst the American people, I think, like I said, I think most of us are like, hey, you told everyone in Georgia, if you elect John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, Senator Warnock and Senator Ossoff, that we would be getting a stimulus check. And you would rather, like I said, February 18th, they have some time to do a little bit. I don't know that they'll get a stimulus check, that we'll get one before then. So that means we'll be waiting until they're done with Donald Trump to get a stimulus check. More likely than not. These are our predictions. You know, we have a history of doing pretty good with them. But February 9th, what's today's date? The 23rd? So you have what, 17 days? I don't know that we get another COVID stimulus in 17, because they're definitely going to be focused on. They're definitely going to be more focused on not Donald Trump's impeachment. That'll be after. They're going to be more focused on confirming Biden's nominees. At least they should be. And so I think that's what we'll want to see. That's what we'll want to look at these next coming weeks. That being said, in other news, what did you think of the inauguration?
It was different. It was weird to see DC so empty.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something different, but I like the fact that they still had it.
Yeah.
Because they could have just said they were going to do it virtually, which I wouldn't have liked at all.
It definitely made sense to have it. It was just kind of sad.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that much military personnel there. I was telling folks, like people were talking about, oh, do you think something's going to happen? And I was like, after January 6th, I was like, dude, there are so many soldiers in D.C. waiting for something stupid to happen.
Nothing is going to happen.
Telling you, mess around and find out. And nobody messed around and found out because that would have been wildly foolish.
No one wants to have a civil war.
They were the people on January 6th said they were coming back. And they saw how much people were there and how many military personnel were there and like,
it's not a good move.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No.
The second time would have been throwing your life away at that point. I saw a lot of people online thought Donald Trump had one more play before he left office. He was going to declare martial law and use the military to prevent Biden from taking office. I was like, man,
he would never. No one's going to do that.
He can't. I was like, man, some of you all are really living in fantasy land. We love to have everybody by the fireside, but some of y'all, man, are not living in the same reality that most of us are. And I saw that and I'm praying for you. That's all I can say. I saw somebody was like, God is about to have a reckoning and Trump is going to rise up, blah, 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 and patriots are going to rise everywhere. And I was like, I don't know, big dog. In the words of Chris, the cosplatriots seem like they're a little awful. Played out. Even the cosplatriots, that's too funny. Awful. So someone asked, what do we expect from a Biden presidency? And what did we like about the inauguration in day one? What do we like so far? So I don't know if you want to go first or second.
Sure. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's like I'm one of those people that I have to wait and see. So like as far as day one, like I said, I found the inauguration necessary, but it was sad. I think it was a good closer to 2020 to just kind of mark like, yeah, this is a sad time and there are sad things happening. So it was not, I guess, good in that sense. It was fitting to have the inauguration. But I mean, as far as what I expect from a Biden presidency, I've actually said this before. I actually really don't expect much. I think it's gonna be difficult for him to get a lot of what he actually wants to get done, and it's just gonna be a lot more routine, business as usual, kind of just going back to what we had with Obama. I would imagine, kind of just trying to tie off some like loose ends and keep things running, get things back hopefully on track at some point, and then a lot of just COVID focus would be the other thing I think that we're going to see out of a Biden presidency.
Yeah, I think that'll be. Well, let's start with the first question. What I thought of the inauguration. I really liked Biden's speech. I thought it was really good. I know he did a lot of stuttering. He stutters. A lot of y'all have to get over. Yeah, I was gonna say y'all have to get over it. Like people are like, oh my gosh, he stuttered online. I think
he does a good job.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, he stuttered. Like, oh Lord, have mercy. You couldn't understand what he was saying because he stuttered. Like, come on now. So
we could understand what he was saying.
I thought his speech was good. I thought it was great. I thought it was really cool that Kamala Harris was sworn in by Sonia Sotomayor. I thought that was super neat. and it was like a great image
I didn't
for.
get to see that part.
I was gonna say it was a great image for. It was a chief justice who is a Hispanic woman swearing in a half black, half Indian woman to be vice president.
That's very
and
yeah, that is
woman Hispanic is a Supreme Court justice. So it was like a really cool moment for like feminism and women of color. And I thought like for my nieces are half black and half Hispanic. I thought that it was a super cool moment for them, just to see, like, I've never had that mindset, I need to see somebody who looks like me there to know I can go there. But at the same time, if nobody that looks like you has been there, can you? And so, there has to be somebody who proves it. Whether, you might not, like I said, I don't necessarily view it that way, but for a lot of people, it proved it. It proved how far this country has come. When you think about where African-American women were when they first arrived as slaves, mostly used as, concubines and sex slaves. And you think about where they've come from, all throughout that, the black woman being, the most disrespected, group of people on earth. When you go from all of that to seeing one as the attorney general, even though I'm not, Kamala Harris's biggest fan, I thought it was a cool look. And
nice to see.
Yeah, as far as, day one, I like that he got us back in the Paris Climate Accords, but that's not going to be enough as far as climate change goes. He had a lot of day one promises he fulfilled. He had a few that he didn't fulfill, but I think that a lot of it had to do with the political realities. Like when you're running, it's one thing, but when you're actually in power, it's another. And the tough matter of facts are, if you're a Democrat, you had to believe that you were going to take North Carolina, that you were going to take Maine. You had to believe that there was going to be like some margin for error. Right now, there's no margin for error, and you're relying on Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, who obviously lives in coal country, so he ain't really into clean energy. And he also said, like, I'm not really for $2,000 checks. So you're relying on someone who's kind of one of you, but not really. The political reality in the House is so slim. The political reality is you're probably going to have to pick up a few Republicans to get some things done. And while Biden can make that happen, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the legislation and the focuses of this presidency versus the focuses of the campaign. But I'm right there with you in the sense, I think that Democrats will be rewarded in 2022 if they can fix COVID. If they can bring COVID under control, if they can make people feel good about COVID, if they can kind of get the economy turning around, I think Democrats will be rewarded greatly in 2022. So,
well said.
Yep.
I agree with that.
I was going to say, I think you'll see larger margins in the House. I think you will see more seats in the Senate. Democrats are on the offense in 2022. So, there's 33, like the seats, everybody, like it's every 6 years, but every 2 years, a third of the senators go.
Mm-hmm.
So this third, it's, I think, 20 Republicans and like 13 Democrats. So Democrats have a lot of areas that they can improve and very few that they can actually lose. But to win those areas and knock off those incumbents, I think it's going to take more than just pointing at Mitch and the Republicans and blaming them for all your problems, especially if you spend a significant amount of time focusing on the impeachment of Donald Trump, which Republicans, smartly enough, Mitch McConnell said the House didn't give Donald Trump any due process. So we're going to give him as much due process as we can, meaning that, in other words, they're going to delay this thing out as long as they can. And while the Senate is doing one thing, the Senate can't do another. 100 senators, when they convene, they can only debate and convene on about one thing at a time. And so I think it'll be interesting. There's a part of me that says Biden's going to pardon Trump if Trump gets caught on any charges. Because, I mean, like, for Donald Trump to be dragged into jail, and I know a lot of people want to see that. And I think his popularity has faded a lot, even within his own circles, for not really doing anything on his way out, kind of just like leaving out the door and telling everybody have a great life. I think that it would still be, a lot of Democrats talked about how alarming it was when Trump talked about locking Hillary up for committing crimes. And Hillary committed crimes. Let's all not BS our way around that one. Hillary committed some crimes. And I think it's the same thing, to see like a politician a lot of people care about, a lot of people follow, and to be locked up by the opposing party. Like he's being investigated by New York's Attorney General, a Democrat, DC's Attorney General, a Democrat or district attorney. He's being investigated by, I guess it's Attorney General in New York and District Attorney in DC. But he's being investigated by these people. And like I said, I just don't know that it'll be a good look I feel like it'll give Republicans something to unite around. Just like Democrats could unite around the way that Hillary was being treated unfairly over like Benghazi and like how many investigations they put her through. They put her through entirely too many investigations to not find anything. But that's just me. And I guess maybe other people have different opinions. I wouldn't know. That being said, let's hop into virtual dating plus. They call this Dear Shade. So I'm going to break this one down because it has a lot of details that are unnecessary and inappropriate for this podcast.
I think.
And so basically, Dear Shade, my ex-girlfriend and I recently broke up 2 months ago or so. And I love her very much. I was very depressed about us breaking up. And I was very depressed when we weren't talking. Recently, we began talking again, and I think she wants to get back together. This made me the happiest man in the world until she also told me she was pregnant with another man's kid. Apparently, this other man is nowhere to be found and wants nothing to do with her or the child. I want to get back together with her, but my friends say I shouldn't. Dear Shade, I think I love this girl, but I don't know. What should I do? One detail I forgot. He's 25 and she's 22.
That's very important. Thank you, actually. That helps a lot. So they're very young, 25, 22. Honestly, there's a lot going on there where a lot of people, I would argue, are not fully emotionally developed. Like people, especially men, your frontal cortex of your brain, which creates judgment and makes sound decisions, and it does a lot of other things too, like compartmentalization, many other things, but is not fully developed until you hit around 26, sometimes even later, around 26. Like, so your ability to make judgment calls is not really that good until you're like 26, 27, and even then you're still getting used to it. So for one, I would say this is a lot. It boils down to your judgment and your ability to honestly understand yourself as an emotional person and an emotional being. Like, yes, you may be very sad. You may be depressed, even not being with this person. But did you break up for a reason? Are there other things going on there? And is this really the situation for you? Honestly, take a second and think to yourself, do you want to be a father? Forget if it's someone else's kid. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. If you're deciding to be in a relationship with a mother, it doesn't matter if it's your kid or not. You're a father. And are you ready to do that? Is that the role that you want in your life? Because at this point, if she's keeping the child, which is 100% up to her, not at all up to anything that you could ever decide, if you're committing to her, you're committing to a relationship of being a father. And that's a big deal. It's not, do you love her? It's, do you want to spend the rest of your life with her and her child? Is that really what you want to do? And if you can't immediately say yes, quite frankly, I would say you need to think about it a lot more. It's probably no. It's probably no.
Yeah, so there's no probably for me, big dog. I'm going to have to say absolutely no. I don't understand how many red flags people have to see before they turn around and move on. But the tough matter of facts are, she left you. You didn't say why, but probably for another guy, since she's already pregnant in this short amount of time.
Yeah.
Why did she come back to you? Because you're safe. Because you took care of her. Because you were good to her. Maybe she learned her lesson, or maybe you're just a backup option. Maybe you're just meal ticket for her and her kid. I don't really know. Like we always say, we're not on the ground with you.
Yeah.
But the tough matter of facts are, when you pointed out you were 25, what that told me was you still have a lot of time ahead of you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild to tie yourself to somebody and give your best self to somebody who doesn't give their best self to you. And I think the fact that she got pregnant in the first place is, I think that's a problem in itself. Not that it's a kid that's not yours, like you brought up, but just the fact in general of how, I don't want to say irresponsible it is at 22, because we don't know your life.
Trying to get pregnant, exactly. Yeah.
But well, it would be kind of wild for her to be trying to get pregnant with a guy that obviously, you feel me?
Oh yeah.
Maybe she thought she was gonna trap. I mean, like I said, it just, we don't know. We just know that there's a red flag on the field. It's like when you're watching a football game, you see the flag come out, you know, referee threw his flag, you're like, huh, I wonder why that was. And then they have to tell you. It's one of those things. We don't know why there's a flag on the field, but there's definitely a flag on the field. And the tough matter of facts are, a kid is a big responsibility. And at 25 or 22, having a kid is going to alter the course of your entire life.
Yeah, it's going to
like where you
whole life.
Where you could have gone, the things you could have seen and done are going to be entirely different with the kid and another, you know, being with a kid and, you know, a 22-year-old and you guys, you know, staying together.
It's a big deal.
I think, like I said, I think personally for me, it's not just a no, it's a block her number. She's manipulative. She knew, think about it like this. She knew she could come back to you and mess you up like this. Most people would tell you they don't come back unless they think they can come back.
Yep.
Think about it right now.
That's true.
You didn't go back to her. Why? You liked her, but you knew you couldn't. She knew she could come back to you. She knew that you would take care of her. And so, yeah, that's what I would say. I think that some people are for the streets. Not some women are for the streets. Some people are for the streets. Men and women. I think some people are for the streets. And that's what I would say about Homegirl.
Okay. We don't know, but probably.
Yeah, I would say that I would say that I don't know you, but you could probably do better. Because as far as I'm concerned, well, I don't know. I was gonna say if you're together another 10 years after this, as far as I'm concerned, it'd be like she cheated on you. Everybody would be like, "How long have you been together?" "Well, we've been together since we were 18, blah, blah, blah." Oh. Why is that kid and these three are?
Yep.
I don't know. That's just me.
That's what you want your life to be. Like, what can we say?
Your friends are telling you no. I think that you asked here, hoping that we would maybe tell you yes. And while Shade told you to think about whether or not you're ready to be a father, I don't think you're going to find a yes anywhere. I think if you ask your parents, I think, like I said, it wouldn't be me. As your friend, I wouldn't let you do it.
As your virtual roommate.
As your virtual roommates, we're going to have to say that's a no for us. Dog. Yeah. So that being said, that's mostly all we have for you all. Now it's time for the fast break. If we can, the rundown when it's baseball season, the no huddle. Right now, we're approaching the Super Bowl. Brady versus what's that boy's name? Rodgers is this weekend. You said sports ball. That's what they're playing this weekend. Like, no, Brady versus Rodgers is this weekend. Should be a good one. Bills Mafia is looking to. You know what would be crazy? Tom Brady has been ruining the lives of Bills fans for 20 years. And then his first year he leaves the division. Wouldn't it be crazy if he met the Bills in the Super Bowl and then beat them again?
That would be extra.
It would be really nice for the Bills if they beat him in the Super Bowl. If they're like, we finally got one over him. Like, we finally did it. Like, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I like the Bucs. I like a Brady-led team.
You're gonna keep it a buck.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you, indeed. So let's see. Godzilla vs. King Kong comes out Sunday. Are you excited?
I am.
I am wicked excited.
It comes out on what?
HBO Max.
I ain't going to the movie theaters.
Yeah, it comes out on HBO Max.
Okay.
You know, there's movie theaters open in some places across the country.
Oh, I know.
Florida is pretending like there is no pandemic. It's like the war in Ba Sing Se. It's just not happening right now at this particular point in time. WandaVision is now on Disney Plus.
What is WandaVision?
You know what WandaVision is? It's from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Wanda, the Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wanda's her name, and then Vision, like the robot guy. It's called WandaVision. It's a story about the two of them. I guess remember how like during like the war they were found together. They had snuck off. It's like the two of their lives after Infinity War together.
Interesting.
So people say it's really good. And Chris Evans might return and be Captain America again.
Really?
I'm excited for him.
Chris Evans? Captain America.
Yeah,
Captain America was dead.
No, Cap retired. Boy,
right.
We're out here telling spoilers. No.
You haven't seen it yet? What's wrong with you?
I don't know if they've seen it yet.
You better have seen it.
I was gonna say, Iron Man is the one that's deceased, unfortunately. Yeah, we did it. We did it though, Mr. Stark. We really did. No, I think they'll bring Robert Downey back, and he'll load himself up in an AI. It'd be too lit. You can't just get rid of Robert Downey as Iron Man.
He is good.
Just like they couldn't go without Cap as Chris Evans. I wasn't gonna watch any more Captain America stuff. No. Here's one for you. Tennessee is in big trouble right now.
Okay.
The fellas on Rocky Top have hit Rocky Bottom. And it's wicked ugly. Don't laugh. It's terrible. No, what's extra foolish is foolish of them. So you're not allowed to pay college players, right? Because they're amateurs, right?
Okay.
Tennessee, to pay people to go to their school, they were giving them cash in McDonald's bags. So they were like, hey, here, we got you some McDonald's. You'd be like, thanks, coach. And then take it and you had cash in there.
No,
they're in so much trouble. Tennessee is in so much trouble. Dude, they just fired their coach, their athletic director. It's a nightmare. I was gonna say, you have kids coming up talking about can I get a number 7 supersize? Like, boy, like
that's so dumb. Why would you ruin your entire career like that?
They've ruined an entire institution. Right now, I do not wish I was on Rocky Top up in the Tennessee Hills. That's all I can say. Here's one for you. Your boys from Cyberpunk, CD Projekt, they knew Cyberpunk wasn't ready when they released it.
Yeah, they said everyone knew that.
They said, they came out and they said, we knew.
They said,
and because of that, they got hit with a second lawsuit. Like
they needed more time, man.
All right, man. I say take them out back and shoot them. Let Rockstar take over Cyberpunk.
Nah.
Rockstar makes games. Could y'all imagine an LA Noir, but like an online version? It'd be a buddy cop movie. Can you imagine?
That would be
Shane?
kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, but
I was gonna say it would be lit. You see Chris and I on Red Dead now, talking about some howdy cowboy. What are you doing there, criminal? It's like, no, let me stop. Ooh, yeah, you guys should watch Chris and I play Red Dead sometime. That's too much fun. We need to get you on
Twitch
there.
stream, yeah.
The Twitch stream is
I don't have a
Jack
PS4.
Catastrophe 3. Twitch.tv/Jack Catastrophe 3. We need to get you one, big dog. We need to start a GoFundMe for Shade's PS4 so he can be a criminal, or he can catch criminals as well. Although you kind of strike me as the criminal type. Kinda.
It's not inappropriate.
Last thing,
Probably be a
the
bounty
new
hunter.
Pokemon Snap is coming out April 30th.
Okay.
Are you lit?
No.
You're not excited?
I don't want to sit there and take pictures of virtual animals.
What? I'm about to take all the pictures of. First of all, they're not virtual animal. They're Pokemon. Okay.
They're pocket monsters.
They're
you're
pocket
right.
monsters, indeed.
Okay, excuse me.
You know what? I'm about to take all the pictures of the Pokemon. What? I wonder if they have you taking a picture on your phone now because it's like the 21st century or not. But I don't know. You all know the first one came out last century, in case you weren't sharp. But yeah, that's mostly all we have for you. Do you want to play the guitar?
Yeah.
To close us out. It is so good to be back. Really good to be back. We hope you all had a wonderful week. We hope you've been having a wonderful month. There's a new president in town. But even if there wasn't, it's a new day. Every new day has new hopes, new dreams, new promises just waiting to be fulfilled. So go fulfill yours. It's 86.5 The Vibe. It's your boy Jackie C.
And Shade.
And Shady V. And from Shady Vale, we'd love to wish you a good night.